Welcome, everybody, to Mind in America. Today, our guest is Jeff Swinoga, CEO of Exploits in Newfoundland, Canada, chatting about what's going on in Newfoundland. Welcome again to Mind in America, and we have a return guest. I think you're our first returned guest, Jeff.
Oh, it's quite the honor. Thank you, Janet.
Well, thank you, Jeff Swinoga. And we were joking before we started recording that I keep mispronouncing your name, so my apologies.
You're not the first one.
Can you believe people actually mispronounce sheriff?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe that's you would find that odd. I would find that odd. Yeah.
When I go to London, I'm Sharif.
Ooh. I guess it depends if you're in Saudi Arabia or.
Yes, I went. I went to Dubai. I was Sharif, but
Oh,
it's
oh.
very exotic. But yeah, so I get it too. So my apologies, but welcome.
Oh, but thanks for having me. Yeah.
So Exploits recently put out some very interesting news. So usually we talk about other stuff, but let's talk about Exploits first.
Yeah, and sure, just to orient people, we're in the province of Newfoundland, Canada. We were part of this gold rush that started off about 3 years ago. We're exploring for high-grade gold. We got one of the largest land positions in central Newfoundland around a company called Newfound Gold, which has been tremendous because they grew up to be over $1 billion company based on their discoveries on this Appleton Fault. And the exciting thing, like as you mentioned, Janet, for us is that over about 4 or 5 kilometers, they've had a number of significant discoveries. We were super happy and super thrilled to be able to stake the property just north of it, the 1.2 kilometers north. So all for indications look like everything's going north. And we've also staked some property even further north on the Appleton. So we've got a total of 20 kilometers. So yeah, it happened about 6 months ago. It felt like we won the lottery and everyone was cheering and doing high fives in Gander, Newfoundland. And we started drilling about 2 months ago. It's been great. We came out with some encouraging results. The first 3 drill holes really just wanted to identify this Appleton Fault that we saw structurally going through the Bullseye property. Not only did we hit the bullseye, hit the Appleton Fault, but we also we got visible gold in our first hole. We got visible gold in our second hole, and some pretty encouraging gold intercepts, 9 grams over 1 meter, including like 14 grams per ton over half a meter. And then we kept drilling, and we released those 3 results, and then we kept drilling. Holes 4, 5, and 6 came out, and hole number 5 had even better results and had visible gold as well, 45 meters away. And that one had 13 grams per ton over 3.5 meters, including a 68 grammer over, kind of half meter again. So it's for an undrilled property, looking for, a great structure to kind of drill through. We're pretty happy, it's early days. It's a good start. And we haven't kind of mirrored the results that Newfound or some of our other neighbors have had yet. But again, we just started drilling. And so the next batch will probably come out in sort of early to mid-May. So looking forward to that. And we're going to talk about our summer programs that we're going to do on the north part of the Appleton and other things that we're doing. So yeah, it's an exciting time, Jan. Thanks for mentioning it.
Yeah, I really like your company, and there's other great companies in Newfoundland, Lab Gold, Sockman,
Yeah.
Newfound, yourself. Solid results can keep coming out, and I just looked today. Gold's up $30. It's 2050, but everything's lagging. And I know there's a lot of fear in the market, but what's going on? Because I think it's a great number one to me in an investment decision, and this is not investment advice, this is commentary.
Yeah.
Number one is jurisdiction, and you're in a great jurisdiction. What's going on?
Yeah, thanks, Jen. Like honestly, there's a lot of collegialism as well. Like I was on a panel recently at PDAC where I had one of the founders of Newfound and Tim from Sockman, and we were talking about we all each want to see each other do really well because we feel this is the early stages of a potential Abitibi region, and there's going to be ebbs and flows of money that comes in and interest that comes in, and honestly, I think everyone's kind of trying to do their best to create awareness that discoveries, like you said, discoveries are still happening, especially with the iceberg over at Newfound Gold. It's another great discovery for them. We're starting early. Sockman's, already doing some great things, also some potential lithium. So gold going over 2,000, I thought would be a good catalyst to kind of, but the work's being done. I think that's the important thing, Janet. Like, I mean, whether you're in favor or out of favor, risk on, risk off, I think as long as the work continues, I think that's really important. I think things are hopeful going to pick up. I know there's a lot of other smaller companies that maybe haven't had as much success as yet, but yeah, the potential's there, and they just need some more funds to recognize their potential. So I think as a group, I mean, we're not working that closely together, but I think we were definitely supportive of each other. And one thing, just talking about whether it's at the Vancouver Exchange or whether PDAC, I'll walk by, I'll see other CEOs, and they're giving me a thumbs up. Go Bullseye. I'll go Sockman, and go Newfound Gold, and I like all their stuff on LinkedIn because I kind of feel like we're part of again, early stages of hopefully something greater that is going to be decades in the making. So
do you the Lassonde value curve?
Oh yeah, I'm do you want to talk about that, or
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, so we do these lunches every month or so. We bring in investors, and we kind of just get to meet the management team and get to know us better. And we try to be as, responsible stewards of capital and predictable in what we're doing. And you never predict what's in the ground, but we're doing our best. And then, but yeah, I often show the Lassonde curve. And, and like you mentioned, the first step of this Lassonde curve is exploration. And yeah, there's a lot of risk, but a lot of return potential. And there's that steep slope. So some companies like Newfound Gold are ascending that slope, and they're on their way with over $1 billion again in market cap. And some companies are still in sort of that early stages, haven't drilled yet, great samples on the ground, fantastic potential, but just maybe drilled and haven't seen what they want to see yet. But everyone's sort of learning from everyone else. And then there's, I like to think we're at the base of the Lassonde curve still, but we've seen some success with our market cap growing with Bullseye. But yeah, it's a great curve to if you're not aware of it, great curve to look at it. And then you sort of, then you get to the top where you say, here's our maximum resource, and now we're in, our PEA and our pre-feasibility study, and then you get into capital, right? And then there's the risk of building the project, and then you start building the project, and you start realizing the cash flows when you're in production, and then you start climbing that curve again because you tend to find more around the mine site, and so things, the resource tends to grow, and the operations get smoother, and then of course eventually you shut the mine down, So it's that's sort of the Lassonde curve. Yeah, sorry.
And we'll put up, most people listen, but we'll put an image of the Lassonde value curve for those. It'll be on the website and the podcast. It seems to me that too early, because of fear in the general market, because we live in a very odd time, and they're printing US dollars at a ridiculous pace, and good for gold, but not always a world you want to be right in. I think the speculative money left earlier than expected.
Yeah, I guess that was a bit surprising because when you look at, I'm not a big follower of crypto, but some of the crypto money was kind of blamed for taking some of the riskier money from the sector, if that makes sense. And you would think, well, with crypto not doing as well, then that money would flood back into mining and oil and gas potentially. But but we really haven't seen as much of that. I think, when you hear about maybe some of the markets in terms of the banks and others, people are just, kind of concerned about maybe cash is king a little more so than it was last time. So the good news about that is that if there's been accumulation of cash sort of on the sidelines,
Mhm.
the potential is there for people to get involved in sort of a company that is doing good work or has great potential, like you said about the Lassonde curve, and then actually and help fund our mining sector again. So I mean, funding is happening, but maybe not to the risk degree that helps younger projects sort of feeder stock for some of the more developed companies too.
I believe that the best things to be in as the dollar continues to fall apart, gold and energy. You always need to turn the lights on, and
Yeah.
gold's looking very good. So majors first, and then it comes down. So no, but I love the district you're in. I really do. I think it's the best in Canada, and extremely supportive. Land holding costs are high as you go along, but I think the government's workable there.
Mm, yeah. And that's one thing that's it's great comment because it seems like the government wants to see success. They're not trying to hold companies back, and even read articles, and it's not recent, but maybe a couple of years ago, saying we want to see 5 new mines in the province, and they're always open to have conversations. They're very supportive. Every time I have a conversation with someone, they're generally wanting to help. It's almost like the culture in the
Yeah.
province of Newfoundland. Like they just you walk down the street, St. John's, and they seek you out to help you. One look up at a building like you're pretending you're, or maybe even a tourist like I am, and you go, "Can I help you?" It's almost like it's fantastic that way. So yeah,
And marathon's a steal.
what's
I
that?
think marathon is a steal. Like
Yeah.
you've got gold projects that are going into production.
Yes. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
And we always talk about the Appleton, but the Valentine fault, with Marathon and looking to build their project. I mean, that's the next big gold mine in the province. It seems like so. Yeah, really rooting for Matt over there to do well, and yeah, lots of other great companies on the Valentine fault. Hopefully, they're going to follow in their footsteps. Yeah.
yeah. No, I like it, and I'm very happy for your success. So, um, one of and I'm you are on the board of the Prospectors and Developers Association of Canada, known as PDAC.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I was elected probably about 2 years ago now. Yeah. Yeah.
And we saw each other at the recent annual conference in Toronto in March. It was good to see you there. So I mentioned to you earlier that I've been doing a lot of research on mining in the US and Canada. And then Canada is far uh, more supportive of mining in its country than the US, to be honest. Probably people will question me on that, but the numbers support it.
Mm.
But it's tough slogging being an industry association in this questionable environment for support for mining.
Mm. It can be challenging, and you try and persuade, inspire, influence as much as you can, represent the members who've elected you, of course, to make sure that you're actually can advance, develop projects that kind of make sense because the demand is there, and a lot of times, and it's just tough. Like you hear time and time again about some of the frustrations about building projects, and some of the walls that are put up, or even just kind of a ghosting situation where you're supposed to consult with someone and then they don't get back to you, and then that just causes delay. And of course, you've got a full staff, and money is going out the door, and you want to keep advancing your project. So it can be definitely challenging. I'm sure there's when I always think about aspects, I always think about values, fairness and what's fair to each party, and sometimes when something when something's equally unfair, that's probably the best solution for everyone. Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
everyone sort of, it's you can't be complete. I mean, what I'm saying is that it's sometimes the best solution is when everyone's equally unhappy, right? So,
Okay,
but yeah, go
the
ahead.
way I put it is a good deal is when both parties are just a little unhappy.
Yeah. But the key thing is timing, right? and keeping things moving along. So sometimes these solutions that we talk about just they time drift. And as you know, as you're expending money on a project and you're asking for more money to help advance the project, it's just tough when to have that delay. So I think a lot of times that can hurt development, of course. As you know.
Yeah. It's tough. I think the economy environment paradigm has shifted too far, and out of respect for the environment, we've compromised our ability to have a healthy domestic economy that creates infrastructure, tax revenue, jobs, and businesses. So I know you do a lot of work at PDAC to put information out there, but it's a significant amount of time and investment, I would imagine.
Yeah, and we got a great staff at PDAC, and honestly, talk about good people with good values. Everyone on that board and all the staff, they care, right? I mean, a lot of times we work for a nonprofit organization, and it's not a paid position for any of the board members. So it's really, you feel like you're giving back, and you really care about the sector. It's like you said, Janet, you really care about mining, and I certainly care as well. And I think I've only got so much time on this earth before I can hopefully make an impact the way that move our industry forward in the right way. But it's a great organization. I think they're doing some great work, and just proud to be associated with it.
Yeah, I think it's the best sector there is. That everything starts from energy and mining, all of our quality of life, and I think it's been underappreciated. And I think I mentioned before, when I first started getting into this data, I got frustrated with the industry associations. And then I realized, no, we need them. It's a monumental task when you look at the number of environmental NGOs and bureaucrats that are, honestly, there are some that use their work for their personal agenda. I'll own that statement. You don't have to. But it's tough, and we've gotta play offense, right?
Well, a lot of times, as you know, every circumstance is different, but it comes down to education and awareness, and on every side. Whether it's I hate to think that there's one side versus the other, but coming together and trying to have a win-win solution is sometimes difficult, and it takes time, as we talked about in terms of project drift. But sometimes even it could be even generational, where there's a certain culture in a certain area that, for whatever reason, developed a view, and to kind of change that view or elucidate a point of view that would be consistent with what they care about as well, is something that it takes time. It just takes time, and it's hard to kind of get to what you want to do, and especially when the market demands it. And when you can build something locally that confers a lot of benefits to local employers and in the area, and makes a better life for their kids and better education, hopefully. That's a lot of the great benefits that Janet, you and I have seen in the mining sector, where you can't build the mines in downtown New York or Toronto or Los Angeles, but you got to go where the mines are, and a lot of these places are probably around the poverty level sometimes and below, and a project run well and with the proper sort of ESG perspectives can really benefit a whole community and create wealth for them, but also create a better future for their kids.
I think battery metals is starting to educate people. I think when people start realizing that if you want an electronic vehicle and all of your lithium is coming from a place like China, it's just not going to work. You have to have a national source of essential minerals. And I think lithium might be one of those things that's going to change it.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think it's great awareness of that. And I think, even holding up your phone and say, okay, what's in my phone, and the metals I need there, and metals for the future. And then we are seeing some of the anyway. So I think it's great, Jen. I think people are there's a good awareness campaign about it now, and also the restrictions they're putting on, the government restrictions on EV new cars being made in the future.
So going back to gold, because we're gonna, I'm guessing you want to talk about gold.
Sure.
2050 today. I'm looking at it. Yeah, 2055 now.
It's a good day.
We should just keep talking.
Something for catalyst. Yeah, yeah. We should do a correlation with your interviews and then certain commodities and precious
Yeah,
metals.
I'm absolutely certain the gold market is listening. So what's going on at this year at Exploits? What are you focusing?
Yeah, this year, again, we talked about results already. Things going well. I think to look forward to is just more drill results coming out of Bullseye, and then also our summer programs. I mean, a lot of people, like I talk a lot about Bullseye because we're just super thrilled again, like winning the lottery right beside Newfound Gold, and it's just a great opportunity. But we've got another 18 kilometers on the North Appleton Fault. That early days there, we have to do a lot of ground truthing. A lot of prospectors are there right now, actually on the ground. So. But that's identifying drill ready targets along that Appleton is going to take some time. But we're excited, we're eager, we're trying to accelerate that as best we can. It's going to take some time. I'm not sure if we even have something to announce in terms of drill ready this year. But it's just great having that. And so I like to think we're the Newfound Gold of the North, but but no, I wish them all success. And of course, they own 10% of us, so it's. I just want to make sure that we're doing right by the region and right by our shareholders. Yeah.
Nice. Well, and I'll give you a little pitch. NFLD, great symbol.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, if you think of football, right? It's a fantastic symbol. So yeah, we're really happy about the symbol. I didn't change the name Exploits when I first joined, as you know. I mean, the exploit means the exploit subzone, which is a geologic feature, and the guys love it, right? So yeah, we kept the name.
Nice. Well, I wish you great success. I am my goal this summer is to go to Newfoundland.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, we'd love to host you. Actually, Eric Sprott's going to be there in about a couple of weeks. First time speaking for about 3 years for Eric publicly. And he's going to be the keynote speaker in Gander, Newfoundland.
I heard. I wish I was going. It's in what is the date? Do you know the date that he's
Yeah. Oh, it's April 25th to 26th, 27th, something like that. Yeah.
I wish I was going. I'm going to go this summer. I've been promised fishing trips.
Oh, okay.
So I'm happy, but really want to see a few projects when I'm out there. So I'll be.
Hey, come by. Guys would love to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do some talks when I'm out there too. Yeah, it's both Bill and I, my husband, as you know, Bill. It's our number one goal this summer.
Well, definitely stop by our office, and maybe we'll show you around Bullseye if you have some time, and in some of the areas we have. Yeah, the guys are great. We've got a great local team.
I'm married to a geologist. I found out that.
So if he goes to our core shack, he won't come out for a couple of days or something.
I found out that life with a geologist, if you start thinking about retirement or vacations, those all involve looking at rocks. So that's okay. I can live with it. Mining and exploration has given me a very good life. It's the way I should spend my spare time.
Well, and Jen, I want to thank you, maybe it's behalf on the industry, for doing such a great job in creating awareness yourself about our industry and doing these type of talks, because I think that's getting the message out there. Part of we talked about education on both sides. So this is so keep doing what you're doing, and I think everyone who watches your show admires you and thinks you're a fantastic person and for doing this. So thanks for doing this.
Well, thanks. Like you say, when you commit your time to PDAC, it's way of giving back. This is my way of giving back, is to try and just keep getting the message out. This is a great industry and there's some great people, and thank you so much. I wish you nothing but success this year, and then let's chat again.
Sounds great. Well, thanks for having me, Jen. Okay, take care.